Hello everyone. Hello Duklings. Yes, you're coming out soon, aren't you? It has been a fair while since the last time I did a ferret video. But I have gone through all of the questions in the last one, and I'll try to answer as many as I can in this video, though there were quite a few. Thankfully, there were quite a few double ups as well. Come on down. Oh, you go down. There you go, sweetheart. Now, in this video, I'm mostly going to be replying to questions, but there may also be a little bit of both of you coming out at the same time. All right, then. I feel that I am dexterous enough to carry that off. There you go. Before this video, I actually went around and got all of their toys out so that they'd have plenty of things to investigate. In fact, fairly certain they're already straight into the bags. Like, oh, wow, it's wonderland in here. They enjoy getting things out of bags. Well, they enjoy playing in bags too, but mostly they enjoy getting things out of bags. You're very curious little creatures, aren't you? Right. Now then, as there are quite a few questions, I may not answer all of them in one video. And there probably will be a couple of cuts, because obviously I'm going to have to go and get the video off my camera, off my phone rather, and put it onto my computer to make more room for more recording. And as expected, you're already starting to stash your toys back where I took them from. It's like, it took us ages to put those there. Why did you move them? Now I've got to go through the rigmarole of putting them all back. Very inconsiderate, you scallywag. That's what they're thinking. Now, what are you doing down there? You exploring? Okay, you're going back. Right. Kez Sharan asked, what do you do about wires? Well, not a lot, actually. Ferrets don't seem to be particularly interested in chewing wires. They enjoy playing with things, so if there's a wire hanging down loose, and especially if it's swinging, then they'll try to play with it. And ferrets will try to hold things in their mouth. They'll try to grab onto things with their teeth. It's as much a means for them to grab something as it is for them to actually attack something. So it is a little bit of a concern if you've got wires hanging freely, but for example, the wires there, they're completely disinterested in them. In fact, the longer that something has been there, the more boring it becomes to them. If something's new, they'll be curious about it. They'll try to explore it and find out what its properties are. But if something has been there for a while, then their desire to play with it goes down very, very sharply. Which is why they've got so many toys, because I keep having to buy them new toys. Siri is loving my socks, because I don't usually wear socks. So this is a new toy. And every now and then she tries to chomp on it and realizes, oh, there's a foot in here. Oh, I'm not interested in that. I've seen that loads of times. The sock, however, very fun times. So, in short, you don't need to do much at all. Try to make sure that you haven't got like loose wires leaning down or likely to be dangling where they're possibly going to try and jump on it and use it as a swing. But other than that, in my experience, I've not had to do anything about wires at all. Next up, Silly Sombra asks, can they eat bone? Yes, actually. In fact, they should eat bone. It's a pretty important part of their diet. You generally want to make sure that bone is a common part of their diet. So you'd want to give them things like chicken wings or duck wings, mince that has a high bone content in it. Oh, that's their favorite new toy, especially because it's gigantic, so it's hard to stash. So it's kind of seen as a bit of a challenge for them. But you don't want to give them cooked bone, or specifically anything that's like been roasted in an oven or baked, because that kind of bone will shatter and fragment much more easily. Where are they? They've all run off. How marvelous. I think I can hear them behind the couch. Let's see. But as I was saying, you don't want them to be rummaging around. What are you doing down there? I don't think anyone's going to be able to see this. Hello. They've got boxes down there and bottles because they enjoy playing with them. They love going into the boxes and just using them as little tunnels. And now I've got a ferret trying to climb my foot. Hello, Siri. Oh, come on. Captain Rex asks, how long do ferrets live for? Now, it's a rough estimate, but about 8 to 10 years. At least UK ferrets live for that long. I am told that ferrets in other parts of the world will have different sort of lifespans. Specifically, I've heard that American ferrets tend to have slightly shorter lifespans, or about 6 to 7 years instead. But in the UK, certainly 8 to 10 is not uncommon. It's not particularly uncommon to get them a little bit older either. And if you're wondering what I've got in my hand, it's just a woolly hand warmer because it's cold. It's winter in Scotland, and Scottish winters are cold. You're having fun just running around. Siri's having fun going up my leg. Question number 4. This one by Hawk Bray and Leafin and Renosian the Great and actually an awful lot of people. Are you two enjoying yourselves? I think they are. How much do ferrets cost? This is a bit of a harder one to answer because prices will differ based on where you live, not just on the currency, but availability of things, whether something is produced there or whether you need to get it shipped, that sort of stuff. But the question can be split into 2 parts. Part 1, ongoing costs. For 3 ferrets, and I can only really answer for 3, it costs about, I'd say 20 to 30 pounds. Oh my lord, you hissed then. That, by the way, is the sound of a ferret's hiss. It's about 20, oh, you've come back. 20 to 30 pounds a month. It'll be around 20 pounds for all 3 of their food, and then a little bit of litter as well. You don't really, I don't think you'd buy enough cleaning product for it to be a monthly cost. That's a very, very infrequent cost. But 20 to 30 pounds would probably see you well for their food and their litter. However, the initial expense, now that is much, much higher. Zorilla, what are you doing in there? Do you want to come out? You seem to want to go back, so you can come back out if you want to. Now, it depends a lot on what you get. For example, this cage here, and let me try and keep the camera the same angle, cost £220 to purchase the cage. It's a very expensive cage, but a very big one, a very good one in my opinion. Hello, sweetie. You okay? Do you want to play? Or you just want to dance around a little bit? I can't tell where you're going. No? Do you want to go and play with your sisters? Or you want to stay with me? Am I more interesting? I don't think so. But I'm glad you do. But it's about £150 would probably get you a decent cage. You wouldn't need to buy a large Ferret Nation cage like I've got, especially if you've got less ferrets. You'd want an initial expense of about 20 to 30 pounds worth of litter trays. It depends really on how much room you're going to use. You could get by with one, in which case it'd be like £10. Oh, sweetheart, have you got a cough? Or was that a sneeze? You alright? No. Oh, carry out, come on. You can come up. Grab on. No? You want to take me down? You can if you really want to, but it'll be about, like I said, £10 if you just want one litter tray, or 20, 30, depending on how many you need or what kind of litter trays you've got. The ones I've got are much larger. They're for like rabbits and guinea pigs and that sort of thing. You'll want around 20 to 30 pounds worth of bedding as well. So by that I mean blankets. Hello. You gonna play over here? I got about 12 blankets when I started, and that was enough to switch them out frequently if I wanted to. But you might have less, you might have more. Again, it all depends on the ferret and also the quality of blankets you get. You don't need especially high quality blankets. You certainly don't want anything fleecy because they will destroy that in short order. Want something that's easy to clean and generally just easy to change. And the last major expense, the last initial big expense, is these hammocks and the dens and the little tunnels and everything. I think they're really, really important to get. Oh, you're coming back out? I thought you wanted to go back into sleep. Okay. Well, you two are happy in there. They're quite important in my opinion, especially dens and those sorts of things, where they can actually go into somewhere safe that they consider theirs. Oh, now you want to come back in. All right. Just somewhere they can go if they're just feeling anxious or just not in a particularly playful mood and they just want to go and curl up. It's not just warmth, it's somewhere where they consider theirs, that's safe for them to go. Now, I've got quite a few. I can change those out much the same way that I can change the bedding. And my initial expense is about £100, but it'll depend on how many you get, how big of a cage you're trying to furnish. There's one other thing that I didn't mention in the monthly cost, and that is toys. And that might sound incredibly silly, just, oh yeah, I've got a monthly toy budget. But again, they get bored of things. The longer they've had something, the less they want to play with it, and it's really, really important to give them a lot of stimulation. So I tend to buy them new toys fairly frequently. And you might want to put down like £10, maybe £20 extra a month. It really does depend on how many ferrets you've got and how many toys you intend to buy. So it might be anything from like £30 to £40 per month. And in the sort of ballpark of £300 initially. Again, it does depend on how many ferrets you've got and where you're getting all of your stuff from. Question number 5 by Chris Rock. Do they bite and are they aggressive? The biting question, and this really does come down quite a lot to the individual personalities of your ferrets. Mine don't bite, and they're not particularly aggressive. They're very playful, and I think it depends on your tolerance to it, really, what you'll consider aggressiveness and what you'll consider just being cantankerous and playful. They've never bitten me. You'd really know it if a ferret bit you because they've got an incredibly strong bite. But they do nip. As I've mentioned before, they like to talk with their teeth. Are you coming out, sweetie, or are you just going to stay back there and play around? I think she might have decided. Oh no, there she was. Sneaking up on me like a little ninja. They don't tend to bite. I can stick my fingers in the cage happily without any concern whatsoever. They've never bitten onto my finger when I put it in the cage. They've occasionally grabbed hold of me when I'm playing with them, but it's just them wrestling. There's no malice or intent to hurt me there. Again, you'd know it if a ferret tried to bite you with the intent of biting you. So, with that question, in my experience, no. They're very companionable, very playful, but they do nip as part of that playing. You can train it out of them if you want to. I've no particular desire to tell them not to communicate with me, so I try not to. But as far as aggression, though, that's purely down to their personality. Some ferrets will be, some ferrets won't be. Next question. Caleb Wallace asks, how much space do they need? Well, to be honest, as much space as you're willing to give them. The more space they have, the more room they've got to run around, the happier they'll be. Mine have all of this, and 2 other rooms depending on whether I'm supervising them or not. I don't tend to let them wander into the kitchen without me watching, because I just don't trust them to not get behind the fridge and then have me sat in front of it for like half an hour asking them to come back out. Hello. I imagine they would be very, very happy exploring the behind the cupboards. Mwah. But yes, the more room you give them, the happier they'll be. And they're getting a little bit tired now. It has taken me a bit to get to recording and get everything set up. And Siri especially is a little bit worn out. So we'll wrap this episode off with a very Siri-centric question by Reaper King. And that is Siri an albino? Yes. Not really much more for me to say, honestly. But I guess it's the red eyes that usually give albinoism. I'm not sure if that's the right word, but albinism away. But yes, Siri is an albino. Now, I haven't been able to answer even most of the questions, so we'll be continuing that in the next episode, but that's all from us for now. So until next time, do take care.